Oh, got my lights on. Here we are. Oh, I didn't turn up. Hold on. Okay, got it. I never know if it records when I do that, but I forgot my do not disturb. Anyways, got my hair curled. I'm pulling it out and I'm just going to ruin it today because I want to go out and plant seeds. Tossing seeds. I ordered on Amazon a whole bunch of different kinds of wildflower seeds, and I've just been, as I get them, pouring them into this little thing. And then I bought like actual tossing seeds. So I think I'm just going to go down. I have a really long driveway. I'm just going to go down the driveway and I'm just going to, in my car, plant. It's raining here, so it's perfect. So I'm just going to like pull it, sprinkle, cover it, go down the driveway. Anyway, I have some spots I've been eyeballing. Oh, there's my computer. Okay, I am gonna plug her in. Maybe gotta send an email. Anyways, I'm just waiting for some people to pop on. So when you get here, say hi. Hello, Pam. Hello, Karen. Hi. I'm gonna put a sweater on because my house is chilly. It's a drizzly day here. Oh, I see what I'm doing here. I'm doing it all wrong. Oh boy. It's fall. Just kidding. It looks like it's fall where I live. It's foggy. It's rainy, drizzly. It was windy. That died down finally. Anyways, we're going to do our makeup. So say hi. I have been gone all weekend. This is one of the things that I like. Monday lives are my favorite because if I've had a weekend, this brings me back to life. My Monday lives, my favorite, like my regulars, you guys save me every week. Every Monday, you guys give me a refresh. How am I? That's a bad question to ask. My cats are in the sink. You ever just ask somebody how they are and they're like, I'm okay. That's where I am. Oh my goodness. The Spoken Night watching from Portland. Ooh, Portland, yes. Anyways, I got to go, my son, he's 24. So we could do the math. I'm 44. I was a young mom. And I got to go visit my grandma who has, like, let's just get into my nitty gritties. I'm going to start doing some stuff. We're going to put some eye cream on. I love this stuff. Okay, there is a link in the description for anything you see me using. All right. And so my thing was, my son, he is chasing nostalgia. And I think I finally figured out what it was. Growing up, we always went to my grandma's cabin. And it's a cabin that her and my grandpa and my uncles all built together. And back in the 80s, early 80s, 1980, I think is when they bought it in 80, built. Anyways, who cares? But so it's a family home that, I mean, I'm a military brat, so this was home base for me. Consistency, the only consistent home I've had my whole life. So we all have my cousins who are 12 years younger than I am. We all have this memory of this home and all the things, the holidays, the gatherings, the things. It's the reason why I geek out on Thanksgiving and Christmas is this house, this grandma, this part of my family. And my son also equally grew up going there. And so it's just three, I want to say, I'm going to call it 3 generations, but it's 3 different decades of memories for people. And my grandma has dementia and my grandpa's gone. And at one point this weekend, it just brought me back. And for my son, he always wanted to be a part of this part. And he always wanted to be a part of this. You know, when you're a kid and you see everybody stand at my grandparents, they have a big open loft where we all would sleep, the guests. And so you could always see what the grown-ups were doing downstairs. We could watch the shows and all of that. And so it was always like, I want to be with you guys. And he finally is a part of it. And it's not what he expected. He's like, you guys are kind of boring. I'm like, we like this. But at one point, we were playing Battleship, Connect 4, the game of life. And my grandma was there watching her, we watched Sister Act. And it just reminded me of that time. And it was so sweet. But like everything is changing there. And it's so hard. Dementia is so hard. Can I have some coffee? Anyways, it was a really fun weekend. It was really good, but I need this. So we're going to do our makeup. I don't know what you guys want to see today. So if you want to see me do a live with hybrid with liquid foundation, if you want to see me do just Saint, I'd love for you to let me know, because we do start with eyes. And then I can get into all of that. So, we're going to get through this. So, makeup. I was doing a lot of no makeup this weekend because it was a hard weekend. And it made me think, here's the nice thing about lash primer. It discolors your lids and your eyes, so you almost look like you're wearing the eyeshadow when you're not wearing the eyeshadow. I did go to Ulta last week to go buy my mascara because I've been using Bare Minerals Maximus, and I really don't like it. I really don't. Okay, so I bought, because they didn't have Lashtopia, like always, I bought a Benefit kit, but it has 4 mascaras in it. And so I'm just gonna go through this and decide what I like. I'm currently playing with the Biscuits, man, here it is, black in the black bag, Fan Fest. This one I almost feel like is a waterproof. I can't see, but it is a fanning and volumizing mascara. I actually really like this one. It really coats the lashes, and I feel like it is really hard to get off at night. And so I do end up with a lot of mascara that is, and I mean, I really try to get it off. I get my makeup melt on it, and you can feel it, and it feels like a waterproof mascara when you're trying to take it off. But then I go through and I double cleanse like you should, and then I wash my face with my cleanser, and I really try to get in there with the warm water. Microfiber is what I always use to take off the melt, and the cleanser. But I still feel like this kind of goes on like a waterproof. So if you like a mascara that's gonna coat, it does fan. I'm gonna use it today, so you'll see. But Babe Lash is my lash serum, and I love that stuff. It's so good. There's no fallout with this either, so there is that too. But I love this lash serum. It really helps with length, not so much volume, but the length. My lashes are longer. I don't know if it really helps with regrowth. If you have, I have really fine lashes. 1, I'm 44. 2, I did lash extensions which are a killer on your lashes, but I use that to try to build it back up. But now I just find really great mascara can give you the volume, but finding a serum that gives you the length takes care of the rest. And that's kind of how I think about it. Okay, I need my eyeshadow primer. So I use Shadow Sense by Singens. This is the color Candlelight, and I'm going to use that. Whew, sorry, I'm back. Okay, I have control of myself again. All right, so I see one person has said just Saint. Okay. Good morning, Alba. Hello, Isabella. Hello. Okay, it's just hard. Okay, weekends are hard. She didn't know my name. It sucked. Worst part of the weekend. She knew me. Could not remember anybody's names anymore. Okay. All right. So we're going to go in. I'm going to pop this on. I'm torn. I'm torn between, do I just leave my lids? But I saw an eyeshadow tutorial this weekend that I really want to try, but I want to do my own spin on it because I don't like, this person did a smoky eye, but they smoked it out. Okay. Let's see. You're getting more into skincare and you've been playing with the bronzed look. Okay. Without the tan. I just got Saint's Auburn and it's so awesome. I love Auburn. It pulls my stuff through a bit, but it is so good. I almost like it as like a bronzer blush. I can't use it as a bronzer because it pulls this thing through, and it's finding what works for you. So maybe I'll do that today because that's really great. Okay. But, yeah, so maybe I'll do that today. That'll be fun. I do like playing with multiple makeups. I think next week we're going to do some Beauty Society makeup. All right. All right, I'm going to take this. We're going to pop this on. I'm going to try a spin on this is going to be not a day look today. I might have to wash my face after this. It's neither here nor there, that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna take my BQ Beauty Brush 203 or 204. Did this thing turn on yet? Is it even charging me? I don't even know. I don't even know where this cord goes to. Does it go anywhere? Oh, I don't even know where this charging cord goes to. It goes right here and it should be charging, and it's not. Okay, just gonna press this out before it sets. And this just cancels everything out. This is an eyeshadow, but I use it as a primer. Your eyeshadow won't crease all day. So I watched somebody do a smoky eye using eyeliner. I don't know what eyeliner they were using. I don't like that method because I feel like you really have to work at blending it before it sets, but it also causes a lot of tug and pull on your lids. And if you have maturing lids, that just doesn't work. So this is gonna be pretty, I think it's gonna be kind of a dramatic look, but I don't give a hoo-ha. I just wanna play with some makeup today. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's 5 o'clock in the evening. Yay, the witching hour, okay. Okay, let's see, hold on just a second here. We just got some people that are in the weeds a bit, so we gotta pull some weeds. I'm just gonna pull a few weeds here. Okay, no, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Okay, we are gonna dig into this. So it's gonna be some darkness. It's gonna have some warmth to it. I like warm and cool together. Okay, it is 8:47 for me. Okay, we're gonna grab eyeshadow. I've been doing a lot of makeup for a podcast studio. So I've been doing some makeup. She also does AI. AI is wild to me, but a friend of mine opened up a podcast studio and she also specializes in AI. And so what I've been doing is I do her makeup so she can set up her AI avatars, and it's been really fun. So I'm trying to keep my makeup kind of separate. So I have some of my nice neutral colors and favorite colors in my palette. This is my travel palette that I used this weekend. No more crying today. Okay, so here they are. It's a really beautiful palette. This is a palette I put together for a wedding, actually. I decided because I wasn't doing everybody's makeup in the wedding, I created a neutral palette for the bridesmaids to use. So I had a palette, had it just sitting out with brushes, and they were able to do their own eyeshadow with custom colors picked by the bride. She had a very terracotta wedding, and it was just so pretty. Hello, Alice. Alice, I am working on our email, our messages. I just have to have my laptop that's currently not charging, but supposed to be charging, and I will get back to you on our messages. Because I can only look up your order on my desktop or laptop. I can't do it on my phone. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a fluffy brush, and we're gonna put on some of my favorites. I'm gonna use the eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna put, what's this one? Is this Pup? I might do Pup. It is. Okay, Pup. These are my really great bases. These are great bases for your lids. I like having a powder base. So you put your primer on, you set it with a powder. So I got Cupcake, I got Pup. I have Mama and Paris, and these are kind of my favorites for the lid. I'm gonna go into Pup just to have a not as bright, but just a good neutral surface for my lid. Everybody's lids are different. There's a couple other colors, just depends on your skin tone, and we can pick one that works best for you. Okay, and so I'm just gonna press this from lash to brow bone. I'm not gonna go all the way up, but then I'm gonna go into my favorite Drift, and we're gonna put that up here on the brow bone. I love having a little peekaboo of shimmer, a bright shimmer. This is a very champagne shimmer. If you have Rome or Sabrina, that works too. So we're gonna grab that. And again, we're not doing my usual basic eye. This could bomb. It's gonna look like complete trash until the rest of my face is on. That I know for sure. That's every eyeshadow. There's something on my thumb. Okay. I do know it's gonna go complete trash at first, and you're gonna say, this ain't it, Amanda. And we're gonna judge this. Never judge your eyeshadow until your face is on. Never judge your eyeshadow also until your mascara is on. So we gotta get the full meal deal. Okay. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Thank you. Yes, please hit subscribe, turn on notifications, do all the things. But we're gonna try this. It's gonna be a really fun smoky eye. I do need an etch brush. I don't think I packed that with me. I didn't do a very good job packing my makeup bag. It was kind of a last minute, not last minute, but we had to do kind of a quick change with the plan. We so again, I've already said this, but my grandma has dementia. And so we're together trying to take care of her as a family, and I live far away. So we do quarterly meetings. Okay, your makeup gets, or your lipstick gets cakey even when you apply it on the lip balm. But still, I don't know why. Lips have a heavy texture. It really depends if it's a really lighter color. I always rub my finger on the back. I find I get texture too, and I get texture on the back side of my lip. Rub your finger on it and just buff it down. Don't worry about down here on the lip line. We'll get into it when we get there, but that's what I noticed helps me. It's my bottom lip. I don't know if your whole lip looks cakey. You probably might have too much lipstick on, especially if it's a mattifying. So those look really dry, and our lips already have a lot of texture. But my problem is the inner lip on the bottom. And so I buff it with my finger. But we'll get into that when we get there. Don't let me forget. If you last that long, because these day lives are always long. Okay, so I need an etch brush because I want some help with what I'm going to do today. So etch brush or a multitasker brush could work. I do prefer the etch brush. Gosh, I love that brush. I need to get more of them. If I can stinking find them. But if at some point you're curious about the colors I'm using, please, 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 ask. Ooh, a cleaner brush. I'm going to use that. I do plan, I see you, to do a brush cleaning video because I need to clean a lot of brushes because, again, I'm doing people's makeup for podcast interviews that are a video. I might even, and this is one of those things that jinxes it, but I was approached to be like an interviewer of things for our town on a podcast, so that could be fun. I'm really good at this. I don't know about being in a studio and I can't see my face back at me. All right. So hello, sunshine. Hello. Okay, you love cleaning makeup brushes. I do too. I just never do. Okay, I'm going to start with an eyeshadow brush. I found a cleaner one, and I've already done my prep. I'm going to go into this. I'm going to use 2 orange tones because I'm going to use black today. Okay, the first color I'm going to do is my tried and true favorite, which is Leo. I'm going to go into Leo, which is this one. This is my favorite. I love this color. It goes with everything, and it's more of a peekaboo color. So I'm going to grab that with this fluffy end, and we're going to put that. So I have a heavy droop out here. So from the front, I look fine. From the side, I just don't like the skin. Okay, so I'm going to keep this orange really, really high, and I'm going to focus it on the outside here, and I'm going to build. I'm going to build this up. We're just going to use this fluffy brush. I'm holding it down here so it's a light touch. I don't want to pack it on. I just want to lightly blend this, and keeping my head to the side keeps me up and out of that crease. See that? Play with eyeshadow. It's fun. Okay. If the makeup brushes are very dirty, it's so satisfying cleaning those. I think I might record a few of them. I mean, I have a gallon-sized Ziploc bag full of them, and I need all of them for this new job that I'm doing. But I'm gonna give this a whirl, and we're just gonna build this up. It takes a little bit of time. What's nice about doing lives and uncut videos, because I have a hard time with these edited down videos, is you don't see the work it takes to sometimes do an eyeshadow. It just takes quite a while. All right, so you see that? It's just up, but you see that highlight of the drift shining through? I love that. Okay, so we're popping that up, and we're keeping it up high. I'm not even going into the crease, just keeping that up high. So we're gonna do the other side. I should pin my hair. We're just gonna pop this up. The reason I like doing eyeshadow first, especially with what I'm gonna do today, is fallout is always gonna happen with powders, and it just won't compromise your under eyes, especially if you have fine lines. These guys, these little crows that are, they're not here, they're not deep, but I have them, and so if you do your makeup, it can accentuate them, and I'd prefer to enhance my under eyes. Let's zoom in just a little bit so we can really see where I'm putting things, but we're just keeping this up top, keeping it high. Okay, toasted marshmallow, that would be fun. Oh, it is marshmallow season. Okay, the next color, I'm gonna pin my hair. Let's pin this up a little bit. I just need that out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna go into this color here. I believe it's pomegranate. Usually I would pick Zion. Oh, it's crimson. Oh, biscuits. Okay, we're going into crimson, which is this reddish brick color. I like warm with cool. It's like peanut butter and jelly. Okay, I'm gonna use the small end. I'm just gonna tap into crimson a little bit, and I'm gonna press this right in this outer area here, like that, and then I'm gonna flip it, and I'm gonna blend it. And I just wanna kind of make this a part of that Leo and just make some depth with it. Using a small brush is so handy, but it's just gonna be kind of a peekaboo. Bring it across if I can, but I don't want it to be crazy. This is all be an accent to this smoky eye I'm attempting. I've never done it this way, and it could really mature, but look at how pretty that is. You could just leave it and have this be your eye makeup for the day. So tapping on crimson, I'm keeping this on that fold of skin. I think that's the best way I can describe it, but just keeping it up here. It is so pigment, and it's not a pressed pigment. The pressed pigments just remind me a lot of some of these really punchy colors, but I'm also using a dense brush. A dense brush is gonna pick this up, but this is so pigmented. It is so pretty. And then just use a fluffy brush to smash that into that Leo color I had put on. But I'm bringing this out because I want to add lift right here to hide the fact that I have this heavy droop. A lot of people don't see it, but it's, I mean, you can't deny that, right? You can't deny that. It's there. Okay, so I'm keeping above the crease. I'm living above the crease because if I lived in the crease, it would be all gone. Okay, now we're going to get into the, I'm going to use the dirtier brush because I don't want to screw that brush up. It's so good. Okay, we're going to go into, ooh, eyeliner. Eyeliner. I'm trying to remember this tutorial I watched so that I can do this. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Tattoo Studio. I'm gonna do one eye at a time, and I'm gonna use my etch brush. And what I'm gonna do is grab a small palette, just because I need the little mirror. And we're going to pop this up. I like Maybelline Tattoo Studio. I haven't found another one that transfers as well. This does set. And we are going to waterline the top. Okay, we're gonna waterline the top. I'm gonna press into my lashes because when I'm putting this on top and then I waterline and then I add my mascara, I don't want any gapping of my skin shining through. It's, to me, it just looks a little, it's sloppy for me and I don't like it. So I'm gonna waterline really well, and then I'm gonna press into those lashes. It's okay if it gets onto the lid, which mine is, and that's okay. It's gonna be okay. We're doing one eye at a time. And then I'm gonna pull this down and I'm gonna waterline down here, which is kind of a big no-no for mature eyes, but I'm not gonna go to the corner. I'm going about 3/4 of the way over, and then we're gonna meet right here. And then I'm gonna take my etch brush and we're gonna smoke this out. We're gonna just grab that color from the lid and we're gonna smoke this out. We're gonna bring it from that lash line down and upward. We're gonna make sure we're building this upward and outward. And then I'm grabbing some of that color that transferred through the lashes and I'm just buffing it out like that, but we're keeping it upward. This is gonna look like trash up until the makeup's all the way on. Maybe, and if it's trash, I wash it off. This is the nice thing about makeup. I like doing lives. I like trying new things. I'm not a makeup artist. I didn't go to school for this. And so trying new things, it keeps makeup fun, but I'm just taking that eyeliner that pushed through from waterlining and I'm just buffing it up along the lashes. And this could end up like trash, but it does give a nice little shape to the eye. And then I'm gonna leave it and I'm gonna let this set. Okay. Havana's so pretty. Havana is great. I love it. It's a little lighter and a lot brighter. Leo, I think, is an all-season color. I think Havana's a spring-summer version of it. So you didn't put Leo or Havana in your trial. You know what? Both, they're really not that far off. I don't feel you need both. You don't. But if you want both, I'm not going to tell you not to get it. Okay, going back in with this, and we're going to waterline the top. Bringing it up and over. Up and over. I just go until my lashes stop growing. Okay, and then I kind of flick up here, and now we're going to waterline the bottom. bring it together, and I'm going to press into those lashes. Pressing into the lashes. Maybelline Tattoo Studio, you don't need the fancy stuff. Okay, grab that etch brush. Okay, you don't have Leo. I think if you have Havana, I think you're fine. I think, honestly, I think you're fine. Get the brush wet a little bit, and it'll punch it up when you use it in maybe fall. Give it a try. I really don't think it's that different that you need to go get. I think it's better to get something that's a little different from your palette. All right, just blending this upward because we want lift. So going just straight up, because once you rest, do you see? It just folds down. You see that? It's like an umbrella. It's like an umbrella. Okay, so we're just blending this upward, and then I'm buffing and softening everything that peeked through those lashes. And I'm gonna be bringing this really high up when I get into the eyeshadow, so I'm not worried about where I'm putting this. It's just messy, it's fine. It's kind of how it looked on the video I was watching. I love finding a video and then being like, I'm gonna try that with Saint. I like an eyeshadow that's customizable. But once you're looking up, it's straight up, but then once we rest, look at that. Up, down. Sunshine, rain clouds. We're just bringing that up, smoking it out. And you can bring this as far down as you want. I'm going small, but remember, this is gonna look kind of trash until we get the rest on, I hope. But makeup should be fun. Trying new things keeps makeup fun again. Just because we're grown-ups doesn't mean we don't get to have fun. Okay, I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna go into Salem. I don't know if they've updated the picture on the side. It looks gray, but it's jet black. It's jet black. And we might get the brush wet later, but we're gonna grab this small brush. This is the same brush, it's just a dirty one. Go into Salem. I'm scared. I've never liked these, but I just always want to try them. And I'm going to go across that shadow. Okay. I'm holding it closer down so I can really focus on transferring this color. And we're just going to work this across. And then working it upward and into that crease. Over, around. Why is my dog barking? Could be a bear, could be elk, could be an exterminator. This is not my usual videos. But let's see, we're gonna bring this up. You love Salem. I just never been there. All right, we're bringing this down and around. There's so many Salems. There's one over in Massachusetts, right? I just was over there. And we never make it to Salem, and I always want to, but we never do. Maybe next year. We go for the Boston Marathon every year, and we always try to do new things. All right, just gonna blend this in to those orange tones I put in, and we're bringing this up, because again, I'm hooded. So if I really rest my eyes, you see how everything I just blended up and it looked nice is gone. So we're just gonna keep blending upward just so it grays a little bit. We're just gonna keep popping this over. Okay. Oh, the one in Mass. Oh, the Boston Mass. You know, it looks very cool. There's a couple of just, you ever think it's funny? My husband doesn't understand this, but I want to go visit just towns, and he wants to have like mountains or purposes. And I like to visit towns. Like I really want to go to Texas, and I want to go to the silos. He doesn't understand that. I really want to go to Salem, Massachusetts. Salem, Oregon is terrible. But I'm going to grab a little more black, and I'm going to press into the lash line just to punch this area up a little bit on the outside. This is, is it already very, okay, I hope it is. This is like a night out that we're doing on a Monday morning. All right, so I'm taking some more Salem, and we're going to the other side. We're just, again, starting at the lash line and working our way up. Okay. I also really want to go to, what's that Washington's town? Leavenworth. If you haven't looked up Leavenworth, look up Leavenworth. That town looks like fun to visit. They have reindeer, bobsledding. It's like a German style village. Like, you know, those little gingerbread house villages. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love magic rocks. But let's see here. We actually have a book that is notoriously, what is it, cursed. And it's a something Geiger. I can't think of his name, but he did Aliens. He designed the Alien set. And we went to a museum of his work. It was very cool. He even had, we went to this village it was in Switzerland, and it's the village of Gruyere, like the cheese. We were the tourists looking for the cheese, which Europe loves cheese. Switzerland, love the fondue. Anyways, but we went into this Geiger guy's bar, and it was Aliens themed. Very cool. In this little like castle village in Gruyere. And we went to the museum and we got the book, but the book is, no matter if it's not the original book, but people say it's cursed. So we kept it in a separate building on our property for a year to see if something happened. Nothing happened. It's in the house and we've been fine ever since. And it's been, I don't know. We were in Switzerland like a week before COVID. So I don't know. All right. So we're going to bring this over. And then I'm going to use this brush to just blend into that orange tone. Again, we're just playing with makeup here. I'm going to just smoke this out with this brush a little bit. I'm a little scared. I always do this eye different. I don't mean to, but I do. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a lighter color, and it's going to be this one. Basic. It almost looks gray. I'm going to grab this color here with my finger. Now I saw them do this in this video, and you just press this over and it just lightens it up just a little bit. Might be able to do this with Pup. Oh, that's kind of nice. You see that? Kind of makes it look gray. Okay. Using my finger here. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to add some mascara. Actually, I'm going to take this brush and I'm just going to clean up any fallout. Okay. This could look really great. It could. We don't know. All right. I'm going to take my mascara here. So this is which one? The Fan Fest by Benefit. And I'm going to zoom in on my eye just because I'm all blacked out here. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see. But I'm going to do my mascara method. Glitter. Add glitter. I'm not going to add glitter because it is a Monday. But if I do go out somewhere, this is bugging me right here, I will add glitter to it. I do think glitter would be really fun. Actually, you know what would be really fun? Our new collections would look really pretty because it's not necessarily, we'll see. Let me get my makeup on and then we'll see. I might be adding this color right here. It looks brown, but it's purple. It's very pretty. I might add that, and yeah. Not all things need glitter, but we're not. Okay, so we're gonna take Fan Fest. It has an arched little thing. I like the bristles. I don't like the plastic bristles. I don't hate glitter. I never want to yuck a yum. It just gets everywhere. Micro shimmer. Okay, that is what those are. They're like I don't know. That's not chunky glitter. It comes on very sparkly. Okay, we're gonna take this and we're gonna go in to the base and we're gonna wiggle it to get all those lashes into the bristles, and then we lift. We're not lifting to the tips, we're just lifting to where the lashes arc. Okay, so we're just giving that in, wiggle, 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 lift. And what I'm doing is I like thick lashes, and I was using serum. I hope this isn't blurry. I feel like it looks a little blurry. I wanna grab something. Let's use a sleeve. I'm just gonna clean this and just see if that helps a little bit. Okay. But my lash serum by Babe Lash has given me a lot of length, but not exactly volume. So I'm just gonna thicken up my base of my lashes down here at the root. And so I just wiggle this in. I kind of keep it on the bottom arch, and then I let that side work it. And then I use the tip here on the inner corner, but we're really just bulking and building. But because we're lifting, it's not chunking, okay? Let's see. Popping this down and upward, and we're just really making it fit. I think it does have that fanning because it doesn't clump them together, but you see how thick it looks? It looks really nice. I feel like my camera's having a hard time focusing. Okay, I'm gonna reload, and I swirl, don't pump, and then I'm gonna go in and I go to the ends, and I'm just kind of building some length by just stacking product on top, and then I'm gonna go on top and go downward lightly. And then I'll go back again and go upward, and this is just stacking, and it's adding a little, like kind of like that fiber mascara, but I'm building on top of mascara product. Mrs. Barris, hello. It's been a minute since you've been on the live. Is Mr. Barris with you? Tell him I said hello. Okay, so this is my method for mascara. I didn't add anything. I'm going to use that back bump, and we're going to go down. Mrs. Barris, we're just doing wild makeup on a Monday morning. I just thought, you know, I do basic makeup every Monday. And then I saw this tutorial, and I said, I'm going to do it. But that's a lot of length. Why is it focusing okay? I don't know if I'm just blind. Also, I am 44. So we're gonna load this back up, and we're gonna go back in, and I kind of keep it on the side of this arch, and we're gonna wiggle that into the base and lift. Wiggle, lift, and it does build up. My left eye is a finer lash than my right. So we're just building that base and thickening the product, but not having it look chunky. We don't want to look like we got a tarantula living on our eyes. We want this to have a nice, makeup will always look like makeup. Make it look like good makeup. I've had some people with this method ask if I have those glue-on lashes, and I say, no. I've not had breakfast today, and I'm feeling it. Reload, and we're just going to keep building a little bit more. This side just takes a little bit longer, but if you are wanting to have voluminous lashes, tubing I just don't think works as well. And we're just going to keep building at that base and letting it tack and build on the tack, but that lift is key. If you just stick it and pull, it's going to get chunky, and you don't want that. All right, then we're going to just comb down on the tips, and then we comb up, and just pulling them apart if you need to with the mascara. And then we're going to go down here. We're going to just add some mascara to the bottom. I don't do a lot on the bottom, just a touch. Okay. That's pretty stinking good, right? Look at that. You want to get the Babe Lash, and then you want to get a good mascara. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I don't like eyelash curlers. Ugh, I've been pinched. It is not for me. I hate eyelash curlers. They scare me. I haven't used one of those heating ones. I don't like them. I also think if you do a lot of glue-on lashes, it naturally will push your natural lashes down, and then they look like they're straight out. And so I only use them when I need to, and then I think those big old bold lashes are kind of phasing out. This is, again, not an everyday Monday look. I'm just having fun today on a Monday. You know, I don't hate Mondays. Mondays are probably my favorite day because everybody leaves. The kids are in school, my husband's at work, and everything they left for me while I was gone, I get to just focus on my own, and I'm not getting snacks except they're for me. Anyways, Mondays I'm alone. I like to be alone, and I like to do my Monday lives. Okay. We're going to do our eyebrows last, our lips last. We're going to go in, we're going to do full Saint because that's what was picked. Okay. Yes, I think the beige did make it look a lot smoother. I think you could also use a light gray, and that would be good too, but it just gives it a little bit of dimension and it helps. But okay. All right. The dreary vibe, you know, yeah. Yep. Everybody has a favorite day. I have a friend whose favorite day is Thursday. But everybody has their schedules, and I can see why certain days are certain things. Okay, let's do our face. We're going to do a Milk Hydro Grip to start. I tried the aloe. I didn't like it. I'm too oily for it. Okay. I homeschooled. I didn't homeschool. I had somebody who knew what they were doing, supposedly helping, but it didn't work out. But it is a beautiful, I loved my homeschool room. That I geeked out on so much. I love my homeschool room. One of my very good friends is homeschooling her kids, and she's amazing. I think it takes a very special person to be able to do homeschooling, because there were days where I had to sub. Whew, whew. There are a lot of people who use aloe as a primer, and it is sticky, but it's really it's good for, it's nourishing for your skin. I mean, I think it's great in the summer, and I have done it in the summer. If I sunburn for any reason, or I get just, it's good for the skin in the summer, I think. But you do need, if you're oily, you got to do some work with it. But I have people that I do know that love it. I tried it. It wasn't for me. It's not an out. It just wasn't for me. Okay. My nails, they have a greenish blue chrome over a lavender, not pink. My hands are awful, but that was something we were talking about this weekend too. I have my grandma's hands. I have my mom's hands. My mom has my grandma's hands, so I have my grandma's hands. And I remember just years of sitting at the sink, where I was at the sink this weekend watching her cut strawberries, because that was dessert, was strawberries and blueberries. But it is a chrome, it's a bluish green chrome over lavender, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm about to change it on Friday. Anyway, okay, so I have my primer on, and we're gonna do all the correctors, because my correctors are my favorite. So we're gonna go in. I use the shape brush. This is the equivalent of the silver shape brush. I talk about this brush all the time. I've actually been using this more than my blend brush and really liking it. But if you get color matched by me, so if you want to get color matched for this makeup, cream-based, 80% pigmentation. Everything in this layer and this layer is 80% pigmentation. Having these colors means you get the coverage you want without that full heavy makeup. It's so good, and it's hydrating. It's good for oily skin. It's good for dry skin. It's good. It's great for maturing skin. Anyways, okay. So we're gonna take this suede color, and I'm gonna cancel this. I have a bit of rosacea. I have acne scarring here. I used to get cystic acne really bad. Then I just get my normal hormonal breakouts that leave behind little fun. Okay. I am a stay-at-home mom, so I don't work. Busiest, it's everybody. I never want to be like, oh, mom, that stay-at-home mom is the busiest person. Everybody's busy. Everybody's busy. I just don't like the stigma of me not working. Me not working, man. Okay. I have a job. It just doesn't come with a monetary value. Okay. Okay. So we're taking this Aspen. We're going to take this over the red. And when I'm putting this on, it's super light. And do you see how it just takes that red away? I still see my stuff. That's not the point of it. It's to mute the red. Okay? I don't think stay-at-home moms work the hardest, because if I had a job on top of this, I'd be very angry all the time, because I'd still have to make dinner and clean dinner and grocery shop, and I'd still have to vacuum and do the laundry and fold the laundry and then put it in the basket so each kid knows whose goes where and having it organized. I'd still have all that on top of it. So I think all jobs are hard. All jobs are hard. I'm also very old school. I'm also very old school. Okay, so we're going to go over this redness again, and we're just going to go over the red. Do you see how it's dull? You still see all the spots, but it's dull. I have redness on the inside of my nose, and then broken capillary. So we're just going to take this brush, what's left, and we're going to smash it in and go around, and we're going to cancel the red. Okay. There we go. I like to joke and say I'm capped, but I'm not. I still got to go clean a toilet and chisel all that stuff off. Anyways. But there we go. Just taking this. I didn't have to reload it. Did I reload it? I don't even remember, but a little goes a long way. When you're working with 80% pigmentation, you will never find, and tell me if I'm wrong, send me a link, a cream makeup that is 80% pigmentation and $16 a color. That's affordable. Under $20 for something that is 80% pigmentation and it's a cream. I've used other creams and they're not 80% pigmentation. They say they're double the traditional makeup, and traditional makeup is roughly 18 to 20% pigmentation, even your full coverage. And your stick foundations are roughly 40%. So this is double the pigmentation of any creams you use, and it's affordable. 64 Love Saint. Good. The thing is, I think creams are where it's at. If you have mature or maturing skin, finding a dewy finish over a mattifying or an all-day wear finish is more important. Finding something that mattifies and stays all day is not going to be It's just not your friend. Finding you want to have that hydrating finish and make it work for your skin, because the makeup we were using just isn't working anymore because it's not made for the skin we have now. You got to work with the skin you have now, and having a high pigment means you don't have to have as much product on your face, and so your skin looks like your skin. Okay, we're gonna stick with this brush. We're gonna go into the next color down. This is suede lip liner. Things that do more than one thing, like in your kitchen. We're gonna go into suede lip liner. I pinch it just to make it the shape of the tin. Okay. All right. You are not distracting. Yes, you can chat. That's why I like my Monday lives. I do tutorials throughout the week, but my Monday lives is where we get to come here, we get to chat. I mean, I've already cried once, so it's a-okay. There might just be some things I skim over, but I do like chatting on things because they give me ideas for tutorials. Like last week, no makeup, I did it. And then look at a Tiny But Mighty Wing with eye lift. I did that one, chucked it off. Setting for summer, I didn't that one, but talking helps me come up with tutorial ideas. Okay, so we're gonna take this brown color, you can see it on the brush, and all I'm doing is camouflaging. This is all prep work. If you don't have discoloration, then that means you don't need to do this. You just skip over. But I have stuff. I've got hyperpigmentation, I've got acne scarring, I've got redness, I have some darkness under my eyes, not a lot, but some. But we're gonna change the color of our skin around this to blend in with it. Instead of making this work with this, we're gonna make this work with this. You just gotta rethink your skin. It's like, what don't you like about your makeup? Great. Put it in the comment. What is one thing about your makeup that is bugging you? And let's troubleshoot this. Let's come up with a solution. All right, so I'm gonna take this color, we're gonna go around this spot. Do you see I'm turning the skin a color, but it's not adding a heavy texture. We're gonna come up. Skin is a texture. I'm not adding beauty filters to my makeup or to my face. I want you to see my skin is my skin is my skin. I've got the pores, I've got stuff, and it's changing every dang year. I've got, I don't know, veins bulging. I must be overstressed, high blood pressure. I did get my mammogram, and they did say I might have like high blood pressure. There's something wrong with my mammogram that I need to go and talk to a doctor about some other thing. I'm like, that's neat. It's not cancer, but didn't know density meant other things, but I don't have a primary. I hate my primary. He was a chauvinistic pig who thought I was making up a cough. Anyways, men. Not Mr. Barris, though, of course, not Mr. Barris. Okay, but we're gonna go back into suede. I'm reloading that suede on, and I have a little bit over here. It's not a whole heck of a lot, but we are gonna blend some of this discoloration in, and I'm gonna bring it up to match over here. So again, we're turning that skin a similar color. He did not call it a tick. He didn't do anything. He just kind of looked at me and he was just like, oh, I go, I'm not making this up. Like, I'm coughing all night. It's acid reflux. But I go, you know, if I was gonna make it up, I'd find something a lot more attractive than something that makes me like throw up in a sink. So, so yeah, but we're just gonna do the same thing over here, just camouflaging this little cluster of discoloration and bringing it up and bringing it down. All right, bing, bang, boom. Okay. It's a psychological, you know, it could be a psychological tick because I do cough more when my husband comes around, and it brings my anxiety up because I don't want to cough around him because it bugs him. So then I get anxiety about coughing, which makes me cough. All right, so we're gonna bring this around and down. And do you see the way it just, it's okay. Everything comes together. Trust the process. Things kind of look like, you gotta make a mess to clean a mess. Just making a little mess here. But I just like to turn, you still see it a bit, but it's camouflaged down. Plus, aspen and suede are dense, so they're gonna hold my makeup on top. That's why I don't like demi on the base of my face. It's just too creamy. Even when I just do demi, it wears off by noon. My stuff shines through, and my makeup looks splotchy when I use demi, and I don't like it. So it moves too much. But suede and aspen are dense because one's a lip liner and one is a contour, and so it holds and stays, okay? It's not asthma. It's acid reflux. I'm supposed to sleep elevated. I have throat coat tea. I take some Tums before bed. It's acid reflux, I found out. I had to go see a female doctor at a walk-in clinic for bronchitis, who then, or I don't know, I think I was there for a daughter's appointment, and then I started talking about me because that's who I am, I guess. And then, yeah. Okay. So, all right. Nexium 40 is the answer. It repairs. Oh, hold on. This is why we do lives. Look at me. Look at this. Look at us. Look at us solving my problems. Nexium 40. You got it. It's going on my list after this. There we go. Nexium 40. This is why we do Monday lives. We're solving all my problems. Oh my gosh, my piercings. Okay. I went to Scottsdale on a bachelorette trip for my sister-in-law to be. I'm the husband's side of the family. It's awful. And we all got piercings, and I got a third hole. I'm so edgy. I'm a coach for a swim team in town, and the kids have this lingo, this language. I don't understand this language, and oh, biscuits, man. They say the weirdest things. So I am a dryland coach, which means I'm a swim coach, but I don't do water coaching. I do dryland, which is basically we get on the deck of the pool and I coach them on a workout. I'm leg day, and then the other coach is arm day. And I decided last week that the reason they don't have fun with me is because they don't understand me. So I started talking their language. So I'm like legit for show. And I've been using their weird words. I would love to know, other acid refluxes don't repair the esophagus. Okay. What to do because you're wearing all black. Do this. Do this. Pinks and black. Ooh. Anyways, but I'm using their lingo. Yes, you can. You can do anything wearing black. Absolutely. Tawanda, Bayou. I love all the fun colors. I'm just cleaning this brush to put on my face. Okay. I lost the cap. Okay, that's the word that they use. No cap. What is no cap? Purple. Yes, purple. Being purple. Ooh, a black and purple wig today. I want to look at something here. What goes with purple on the color wheel? Oh, do like an orange, like what I did with some purple. I'm telling you. No cap means no lie. Okay. So I love doing this to the kids, and they cringe. I'm like, am I so cringe? And then they die on that one too. But the other one was cooked. We're going to cook this workout. They hate it. No cap. They, I swear, love it. Your daughter had to teach. Okay, I have one for you. Because this is something the kids were trying to get me to say. I go, because you're asking me to say it, and you're asking me to say it like that, I'm going to go with no. You're being real sus. And it's 6, 7. What is that? Because my sister asked my nephew, who is only 11, and their reaction, they said it was something with basketball, which I think is a lie. But it is a lie. But their reaction told me it was something real bad. But what is 6, 7? Somebody needs to ask their kids and tell me. Okay, so we're going to use the blush and bronzer because it's my favorite. I recommend it with every color match because you get a discount with bronzer with it. So my computer's not charging. It saves you $11, which is a coffee. Anyways, we're going to take this. I'm going to use, because of my scars right here, I'm going to go a touch darker with my Summer Shade Hazel. And we're just going to go over it. And I want you to see, I have pores. Oh, my computer turned on. Okay, so I have my pores, and we're just going to take this darker shade. Where are you? And we're going to go over it and cover it. I'm going to avoid my pores right here. We're just going to give some coverage. Okay, it is a basketball meme. He said it was. Not bad, just a meme they want you to recreate. Okay, you don't know what it means, but my granddaughter says it. I don't understand what it means. They made it sound like it was something dirty. And I was like, I'm not going to humiliate myself anymore. Okay, over my scarring, just over my scarring, putting this darker shade. If I go too light, it can create a texture. Okay, so we're going to kind of spot treat this. This guy is really hard for me to, okay. All right. It's the height of a basketball player that was made into a meme is all. Well, I feel like they look ridiculous now because we're in swim. We're not at basketball. Okay, we're going to stay with this brush. I'm going to go into my main shade, which is Athens. And we're going to even out this skin tone. I have just all sorts of discoloration that's in here. Hyperpigmentation. This is a new one. I went to the doctor thinking that this new mole, which I love, is like great, but I thought it was cancer. And he's like, no, you're going to get a lot of those. So I have just discoloration that comes in. So all this shade is, we're just the main shade. No longer do we put it all over our face. We're going to tap this in and we're going to balance. We're going to balance it out. And remember, because it's 80% pigmentation, we don't need a lot because the pigmentation is going to do the work, not the product. Like the amount of product on your face isn't what's doing it, the pigmentation. And I think a lot of makeup companies need to figure out it's not about getting a product that's going to stay all day. It's going to be a product that doesn't need to be so heavy that it has to move and crack. So if they add that pigment up, you won't have to. So we're just evening out the skin tone here, just like that. And using this brush, it's a good medium coverage brush. If you like light coverage, this will feel like full coverage to you because the pigmentation is covering so much and you're used to BB creams and CC creams that go on sheer and it balances the skin, but there's a couple of those spots that are just gonna show. So my makeup is Saint Makeup. Ta-da! I love this stuff. I've been using it for 5 years, so I like makeup. I love playing with makeup. Okay. Refers to lyrics from a song, often used in videos featuring who's LaMelo? Is that like mellow yellow? Oh, because he's tall. He's 6'7". Now that makes sense. These kids don't know their own slang. There's no way that they think that that's what it means. They think it's something dirty. Maybe they do think it's 6'9". They just don't know any better. They are 6th graders. When I was in 6th grade, I didn't know what a certain word was, and this guy's name was Dylan, and I called him another name, and I didn't know that this was an object used for other things. I got in trouble. 6th graders just don't know what they're talking about. So we're gonna balance out over here, and then we're done with our main shade. Okay. Got a jet. I know. I'm sorry. These dudes last forever. So we're going to go in, but this part just flies by. All right. You have a good day. But we're going to bring this down and around. And we're just going to, it's almost, when you start balancing the skin, it adds this really nice natural brightness. And then I'm going to bring this up and around my nose, covering the broken capillaries we muted, the redness right here. And then sniff because you just pressed your nostrils in. And then bring it down your neck. Bring it down your neck. Never forget your neck. And when you're washing your face at night, wash your neck. All your skincare, bring your skincare down your neck. And then when you have extra on your hands, back of your hands. Back of your hands. All right? Your hands and your neck are your giveaways. Back of the hands, skincare goes right there. Yes, see you next week. All right. We're going to go into my other favorite brush that I'm going to quickly clean too, and that's my detail brush. You need the brush. You need those two brushes. They're the dynamic duo. My opinion, I wish they were sold in a collection together because they are the bomb diggity. These kids these days need to learn better lingo. I'm going to dab at the end of our workout this week. I'm going to dab. Good workout. They get so mad at me. It's so great though. Keeps them engaged. Keeps them engaged. But I think I need to ask them what they think it means because I don't think they know what it means. They're all short 6th graders. The coverage for this, okay. They do say stuff that other kids say. Absolutely, 100%. Okay, so the brush is clean, it's dry, it's ready to go. If you aren't using Saint, that's okay. If you need a good brush cleaner and you don't want to wait for your brushes to dry till tomorrow, go to Saint's website, click on the link, shop, and get the brush cleaner. Cleans, conditions, dries your brushes. It works with all brushes, all makeup brands. It's a good cleaner, and it smells like cotton candy. Okay, we're gonna go in, and I'm gonna use Cedar, and this is Xanadu. I've been having fun with it. And we're gonna, oh wait, I'm gonna go with Auburn. I'm gonna skip Xanadu and we're gonna grab Auburn. But first I wanna contour. And I'm just gonna use this contour on my cheeks, and my nose. Because we're gonna put Auburn up here because it's really good for summer. Okay, so I've got it on. And I'm gonna go above my natural shadow here. We're just gonna pop this out here and we're gonna underblend it. I'm just gonna pop that on just like that. Same thing over here, and I go right over my hyperpigmentation spot, and I underblend this. This goes really well with hyperpigmentation because it's cool toned. That cool toned, dense, and 80% pigmentation. Okay, bringing that up to the temple, but it's gonna stay where you put it. You're gonna get long wear. Any other contour I have found, and I've used other contours, I've used Milk, Dibs, trash. Sorry, I know people are like really plugging Dibs. I don't like it. Like, it is probably my least favorite out of all of them. Milk is a really good one. I really do love this one. And I've used Beauty Societies. They're good. They're not 80% pigmentation, especially Dibs, but they're creamy. I just don't think you want a creamy contour. Because you want it, it's a very particular placing, okay? How long does a pan usually last if you use it every day and only have the basics, like 3? I think you need 4 because our face isn't one color. So let's just look at the beard. I have my skin tone, but light is reflecting here and here, and then here and here. But let's really just focus here. Our skin is not one color. I just don't think one color is always necessary. Sometimes if you have high texture on your chin, or then I can say skip the brightening, but your skin isn't one color. We've got shadow tones and all the things. So my advice is you need 4 colors, and it just depends. I would say your contour and your blush, because let's face it, we change our lipsticks all the time. But our blush and our contour, I would say, will last you 6 to 9 months because it's 80% pigmentation. The tins are tiny but mighty. Okay, let's pull one out. Biscuits, there we go. Okay, they magnetize in. But these are little tiny tins. They're all the same size with the creams, but they're 80% pigmentation. My biggest thing with 80%, you're used to putting on so much. So you're either going to do one of 2 things, under apply or over apply. I have a friend, she just got her makeup. It's been a month and she's hit 10. She says, does that mean I'm using too much? I said, 100%. You're using too much. You're putting it all over your face. I look like I've been crying because all my makeup's not on, but I did cry at the beginning, but it doesn't look like it now. But I'm okay. As okay as any one person is. Everybody's got stuff. Anyways. Your highlight, your main shade, that one I would say is going to last you 4 to 6 months. And a brightening shade that I think you would need is another 6 to 9 months. That's my opinion. Your main shade is probably the one you'll use the most because you're going to be touching up and you're balancing your skin. And so you dip into that one the most. But again, 80% pigmentation. You're covering more space on your face with your main highlight. So again, 4 to 6 months. But everything else, I mean, that's a tiny, tiny amount. 80% pigmentation. 80%. Okay, so I'm going to go back in. And when we're you don't swipe through, you tap through. You're just tapping in. And we're going to go along the side of the nose here. I go on the top sides, and then I bring it downward. And this is great if you have a bump or a crooked nose, or you want to slim your nose, which is what I want to do, but I'm trying to hide a bump I have right here. So I overcorrect, and I add it to the sides here, and then I square off right here because I don't like this part of my nose. Everybody has their things, okay? Everybody has their things. And so we bring this up and down. Okay, I'm sitting on my foot and it fell asleep. Okay. So now you're thinking about investing. It's worth the investment. It's $16 a color. You've bought dumber things for more. I have, and that's why I say that. I've bought dumber things for more. They're $16. This is affordable makeup, and you don't have to get a palette that's this size. You can start, my recommendation is you start with an 8, but you can start with a palette that's this size. I need to make sure I grab one that has just like tins in it so you can kind of see. Biscuits, man. I got so many palettes. This is the size I recommend. This is an 8. So you can fit the basics. Your main, your brightening, your contour, and your blush. Bing, bang, boom. Okay. But then, I always recommend the blush and bronzer brush because then you can get a bronzer with it at a discounted price. Saves 11 bucks. And then you can put your bronzer here. You can put some eyeshadows here. Okay? So, I recommend an 8, but you should definitely try it. I mean, $16, you could buy less makeup than you would buy your foundation and your concealer from Ulta, Sephora, wherever you get it. I mean, they're expensive. I mean, just think about how much a concealer is from Tarte, which is probably one of my least favorite concealers. But you're spending $30 for a foundation. You could buy foundation concealer at Ulta for the price you would get for 4 colors with Saint, and then you get a discount on your palette when you add them. So it all fits in one place. You're not digging through a bag. It's fast. It's pigmented. I just talk a lot. Okay, so we've put this on our nose. I've squared off the tip. I bridge mine together. It's worth the investment. 80% pigmentation. I'm just going to add a little bit more of this bump. This bump, man. Whew, I hate it. Anyways, okay. Let's go grab Auburn. Where's Auburn? Where's Auburn? I've been doing makeup, and so everything's everywhere. Auburn is in here. I think that this one's Auburn, isn't it? Yep, I got Auburn right here. So I'm just gonna hold it since it's not in a, I don't have room in my palette right now. So, I'm trying to think of what brush. This is gonna pick, I find that this picks up very creamer. Picks up pretty creamy, okay. We're going to take the shape brush, the silver shape brush. Don't buy the gold shape brush. Don't buy any of the gold brushes if you don't have to. If you have an option to get the rose gold or the silver, it depends on the brush, get those first. Gold is a last resort. It flakes off. It's not good. Don't get any of the gold brushes. But there are brushes, the line brush, or not, no, the endpoint brush, the etch brush. Gold is the only option. Okay. We're going to take this brush, we're going to go into Auburn, stippling. You don't sweep this through. You're tapping it on, it's creamy, it's good, and it's high pigment. But your colors shouldn't go on like a clown. So we're just accentuating the area here, okay? I have that suede I put on that's hiding my hyperpigmentation. So I'm just tapping this on, and I'm going to go in the areas of natural shadowing and warmth. Auburn is a great hybrid of contour to bronzer ratio. And so you just need one. Bring it down to the outer part of your brow here. This is why I do my brows last. And then bridge it across in the middle. But 80% pigmentation gives an accent that enhances your skin texture. You can't, we're in the era of people filtering so much that you forget that skin is a texture and you start thinking that skin texture is bad. You can accentuate things in a bad way, but you can also enhance things in a pretty way. And when you're using an 80% pigmentation cream makeup, your skin texture is going to give it that luminous skin. I don't do the Botox things or any of that. My face moves. I have things. Good makeup doesn't make it look like you need it softens your skin texture. And it's going to enhance things in a really pretty way. So taking Auburn, I pinch it just to keep it in the shape. And now I'm going to bring this on. I have that contour right here. We're going to go on top like a bronzer. And I am going to smile because I'm 44. Okay, guys? So I don't have the volume I used to have on my apples. And so I keep this pretty high up, and then I'll bring it down a little bit on my apples. But it does pull my stuff through, and I'm going to show you how I combat that in a minute. So we're pinching this, stippling it on above that contour. We're putting this on like a blush, bronzer area into that temple so it comes up cohesively with the top. Smile and bring that down to the apples a bit. And as you're blending this, you just blended your contour. That's why you don't blend down your contour right away with a cream. The other thing is, if you're using powder contours, powder bronzers, it's thickening your makeup. Powder thickens products, like that's just how it is. So if you're using those powder products, it's going to give your makeup a thicker look because it's thickening that spot. And it can accentuate fine lines, pores, the texture of your skin. I mean, I know that my fine lines are going to come down eventually. So using a cream is going to keep those good. This isn't going to crease. If you're creasing, you're using too much product. So that's why 80% pigmentation is so important to maturing skin, because it should be moving with your skin, not against your skin. Boom. Okay. I'm going to add some lip contour. So we're going to go to the small end of the shape brush. And we're just going to go right here under the lip. Instead of outer lining your lips, just add a shadow. Okay. Just add a shadow. It's going to give it a natural look. I told everybody how many weeks ago I went and got a lip flip. It's gone. It lasted a month. And spitting was different, but it didn't make my lip bigger. It didn't change any. I didn't notice a difference. Did not make my lips. I think I was expecting it to look a little fuller. It didn't, but it's already gone. Don't recommend. I did try it. I feel like, why not? If you want to try something, try it. And it's temporary. Best thing to try is something temporary. It's like travel size. Okay. I'm going to put my Auburn back real quick. But that's all I'm going to do with Auburn is treat it kind of like a bronzer. Putting it back. Okay. Blush. So I get a little pull through right here on my cheek. So I'm going to go into Daylily. And I'm going to use this two ways. First, we're going to go into some balm. I had somebody message me about they use concealer and it just looks really crepey, kind of dry, separates and creases. If you love your concealer, but it's just not working for your under eyes anymore because they're not the same, they're not 20 years old, 30 years old anymore, get Saint's Balm. And we're going to pop this under our eye because under eyes are a texture. They're the heaviest texture. They're a soft tissue. It's thinner. It's crepey in general. Adding too much product is going to ruin the look of your under eyes. But hydration, hydration, hydration. Add this, okay? I'm going to take my Daylily color. It's a very neutral, very soft color. Another color I really like for this very same method is Madrid. And then I also have one, it's called Frenchie. It's just not in this palette. Okay. You need some instruction on the Beauty Society skincare. Absolutely. Okay, what's the Saint Balm? It's basically a chapstick. Basically, it's like a chapstick. You can use it if you have a very matte finish and you want to add a dewy glow because your skin's very dry. You can use it to add a dewy glow that's not shimmery. It's good for that. You can use it to hydrate your under eyes, and then you could also use it to hydrate your lips. It's really, really good. Okay. Love that stuff. They have a peach scent that's sometimes available. I have unscented right now because I went through my peach. It was my favorite. Okay, where am I on my face? Okay, we're going to go in with the blush and bronzer brush, and I'm going to go into this Daylily color. We're just going to tap in 80% pigmentation. When I say everything is 80% pigmentation, that also means everything is coverage. Everything is foundational coverage. My blush, my bronzer, my contours, everything is foundational coverage. So I'm going to take that little pink color, I'm going to smile. I'm going to go over that scarring that was pulling through from Auburn. And I'm just hitting that cheekbone. Okay, grabbing it again. We're just going to go over really lightly. And it's just an accent. And now I can go in and do my under eyes. I always do my under eyes last. Okay. But we're going to brighten. This is where I'm saying, this is why you need 4 colors. You need a main highlight, you need a brightening highlight, a contour, and a blush, just to start. But again, you're going to end up getting bronzer. Just get the collection and get a palette 8. Okay, I am going to use the shape brush again on the small end, and I'm using Versailles, and I'm going to use a little bit of my main highlight. So we're just going to tap into Versailles and tap into Athens. That's all we are needing right now. And I'm going to go in between, this is where light reflects, is right here. We're going to add a little more. Okay, this is where light reflects, so this color should be a touch lighter than the skin tone. And then we're going to fan this over the brows, and we're going to work this up and out. up and out, and it's gonna go into that auburn color, and then we're just gonna blend the line. So we go to the mid of the brow, right there. Take the fluffy end, and we're just going to blend them together. So we get coverage, we get balance, and we get dimension in basically one layer. And it's very minimal. My skin looks like my skin, but it has dimension. I don't have a lot of things to correct on my forehead, but I do have these things going across the forehead, and it works with them. Skin is a texture. It's makeup, not magic. But makeup can work, as much as makeup can work against maturing skin, it can also work with it. And to think you're out because you have maturing skin, I can't wear makeup anymore because it just doesn't work. That's just not true. You just haven't found the right product, and that you haven't found the right way to apply the makeup that works for your face. The way I do my makeup, this is why I have a lot of lives, a lot of videos, and a lot of talks, is because not every application works for everybody, and it's about finding your method. It's about finding the application that works best for the way you like to wear your makeup and how you want to feel when you walk out the door. Like, this isn't how everybody wants to walk out on a Monday. It is how I'm going to walk out on a Monday. But we're going to go into the brightening a little bit more. I'm going to pinch it, and I'm going to tap it into that brightening. And then I'm going to go down the middle of my nose. Boom, 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 boom. This is 80% pigmentation. It didn't look like much on the brush, but it packs a punch on my face. And then I just use my finger, and that straightens my nose out. Straightens everything out. Extra nice. You get a little more control when you're using your finger. Tap a little bit more, just one. Barely anything on. I'm going to brighten right here and right here. Barely anything on the brush, but it really makes a difference on the face. You don't have to see it to know it works. Apply it and see first. Okay, so we're going to go into our under eyes. I'm going to tap a little bit on. I'm going to deepen it a little bit with my main highlight. Natural shine right here. We have our natural shine, and I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to accentuate it and enhance it, and I'm going to make everything look better. And so we're going to bring this up. Always do my under eyes last. And then I'm bringing it around. I'm not putting it right here on this soft tissue. I'm living outside of that trough. Everybody has that trough because we have an orbital bone in here. Orbital bone, eyeball, hammock. Okay, we're gonna pinch this, and I'm just gonna push this upward into that inner corner right there. 80% pigmentation. There is an occasion, most of the time I will use this Daylily as a corrector, but you also don't have to. And then I'm gonna blend this downward into my smile line. Brightness adds lift, so I'm going to try to camouflage the depth that's right there, but I'm also letting that blush. Look how pretty that is. You see that? Makes a tiny but mighty difference. And it adds a lift to the eye. Bing, bang, boom. Okay? So you don't need a lot. So again, we're gonna look at this. We're gonna take our fluffy small brush. We're gonna go tap, 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 tap. Do you see how little is on this brush? Nothing's clumped, sticking together. And then I'm gonna go to that natural shine, okay? Boom. And we go up that orbital bone, live on your orbital bone, adding lift to your eye, cleaning up that eyeshadow. If you need to add more, just tap, tap, little bit. No filters. I don't like to hide anything. It's just not who I am. We're gonna go to that shine again. We're gonna go up, pinch it, go to that inner corner, cancel out that darkness, living on that orbital bone, and then come to that soft tissue last. Okay, last. And then take that fluffy brush and merge it with that blush. Your skin should look like your skin. Makeup will always look like makeup. Going to that smile line right there. I feel polished. It's like polishing. My silverware looks like my silverware, but then when it's polished, it looks nicer. I like how I look in makeup. And I haven't gotten anybody on here this time that's been like, you look good without. It's like, no, I didn't say I look bad. I wanted to feel better. Okay, let's set this. There's all kinds of different setting sprays out there. Okay, how does it stay in real hot and humid weather? Being that it's all cream. Okay, if it goes on like butter, it's gonna melt like butter, so just keep it out of your purse, out of your car, out of the sun. Stock it, ship it to your work. There's those things to keep in mind. With your face, this is where setting comes in handy. I've been to Palm Springs. I used to live in the South. I've gone to all the hot places. I went to Palm Springs. I had to keep it in my purse. I just made sure it was flat at the bottom of my purse. But there is that. It does have, it's cream, so it does have movement. I know you mean on the face. I just have to say that part first. Get a film forming setting spray. There's Saint setting spray, which I always recommend and love. It's a really great setting spray, but it's not a film forming setting spray. You want to get this guy. This is the best. A lot of makeup artists use it. I use it when I do weddings. I use it all the time, okay? Nobody really considers the storage. I mean, I had to ship Easter candy to Palm Springs for Easter one year. I stalked the tracking, and I get it. All right, so a lot of people put coolers, put it in a cooler, put it in a Ziploc bag, keep it in your cooler. That's how I travel with it when we go on trips where I know it's gonna be hot and my makeup's gonna be in the car, check in, all the things. I wrap mine in a Ziploc bag in my palettes, and I put it in my cooler with my food because I travel with food, I'm weird. Okay, Blue Marble, it's on Amazon. This bottle right here is about $40. That can be a bit pricey for people, but it is a film forming barrier to seal makeup. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a setting powder and we're gonna have a setting spray, and we're gonna do what I call my setting sandwich. This is really good for heat. I prefer, now there's two kinds of setting powders, and you can see that you can tell which one I use. There's Vanilla Dust, which is just like a standard pressed setting powder, but this is our blotting dust, and it works really well for texture. It has a sheen to it. My other favorite, if you're not wanting to do this, is the Laura Mercier loose powder. Really good, but be so careful when putting it on because it is a loose powder, so it can thicken your makeup and create texture that you don't want. And so I'm going to show the method with the blotting dust, but do the same method with, maybe I won't. We're going to do two. I'll show you how. So we're going to take the Blue Marble, shake it, and spray your face. And I want you to focus, and I want you to think about, you're wearing sunglasses and you're probably taking a phone call on your flat phone. So it's going to hit the side of your face. So I want you to spray from side to side, but make sure you're getting those sides. And so spray and get the sides. Get your face damp. The nice thing about a cream is it does well if it gets spritzed and a bit wet. Okay? You're going to take a loose brush, like a fluffy brush. The shape brush does well. This does well. You're going to go into your setting powder. I'm going to show this one here. And you're just going to swipe it. Okay? And I always knock it into the bristles. We're going to talk about glitter again. All right? It's like glitter. When you think it's gone, it's not gone. And you're going to find your low texture zone. Everybody's is different. Mine is my temple. You're going to start and you're going to bring it, start there, and then you're going to bring it in, avoid that soft tissue, and then you'll bring it in and you're going to set. I'm oily. So on top of heat, I'm oily, but it doesn't oxidize and turn that shade of orange that oxidizing does. And then you're going to come in. Again, I don't do, this is why you do your brows last. And when you think it's empty, go to your under eyes, go to your crease, go to your smile line, put those, pack that in when you think your brush is empty, okay? With a loose powder, it's typically gonna look like that when you travel, but you're gonna take that loose brush and you're just gonna press that in, okay? It's gonna look like that. You're gonna take the lid, you're gonna smoosh it in, swirl it around, and then you're gonna knock it down, okay? Charlotte Tilbury works good too. It does. I like that one. I've just used it up and I haven't bought another one. Another really good one is the e.l.f. That one is a really good one. I don't know if they're film forming. So for heat, you kind of want that film forming. And so you can see the difference. I still have a dewy finish using that blotting dust. This is without setting powder. So we're going to go to that low texture zone. I usually focus on the outside because our hair is usually covering it. People really aren't looking. But then you're going up and down, but you want to make sure you set on those cheeks where that phone hits. And then come around. And then when you think it's empty, hit that under eye. Hit that under eye. Hit that furrow area. Hit that smile line in the crease of the nose. And then bring it around when you think it's empty. And it just marries everything together, but still same. It's a little more matte, but it still has that gleam. Okay. Powder is always going to change the consistency of your makeup. Take that setting spray and spray again. And this is going to help take care of excess powder that you put on. Take that same brush and press in your setting spray and set it in. Now, again, I'm going to say this, and I say it all the time, and it's easier for me to say this here because it's just generalized. It's makeup, not magic. If you are in a humid space, get yourself a brush like the shape brush to keep in your purse, or get yourself one of these little poofs and you just bend it and you can just reset your makeup, especially your under eyes and right around your nose where you sweat and you see your makeup maybe moving. Just press. The nice thing about a cream makeup is it moves with your skin. So if it creases, it separates, or you feel like it's moved because it's hot, you can press it back in place and it resets. Tarte, any of those setting foundations aren't resettable. They are cracked. That's how it is. And then when you try to fix it, it starts chipping off like bad paint. And that happens a lot on the chin, on the tip of the nose of people, but where you try to reset. And so you could just take these things and just press your makeup back out. And so that's where I say creams work with skin. As your skin's maturing, things are moving a little bit differently. Things are creasing a little bit deeper. So having a makeup that you can just press with your fingers and reset, but then here's the thing with the tins. They come like this. This is how you get it. It has a lid. So you don't have to buy a special palette for your powder. You just pop this in, and when you get them, oh, perfect. This is what your tins come in, is a sachet bag. And so you just take this and you put a powder in your sachet bag, go get a poof from Amazon, you get a whole bunch and you shove those into a bag and you keep it in a clutch, okay? Yes. Okay, so then you can take this isn't setting powder, this is a blush, but you can just slide it out, tap into your powder, and then you can reset after you've put your makeup back where you want it. That's what I tell people to do. You don't need a separate palette, but you can also just take a brush and reset your makeup that way. I do that all the time. I don't reapply more makeup. I just take this brush and I'll just press my makeup back out with the brush. It just helps meld it into all the little nicks and grooves. Okay, brows. I'm gonna do my brows really quick. I like a structured brow. And then we're gonna talk about clumping lipstick. I haven't forgotten. So we're just gonna comb our brows in place. I was an overplucker in the 90s. Oh boy, howdy was I. All right, so I have to draw mine on because I'm a bit bald here. We just gotta pull some weeds. Okay, and I get a bit short. They stop about here, but I wanna add length to my brows and my eye. I wanna give it width and lift, and I can do that with my brows. Makeup is a wonderful thing. You don't need to go and get all the injections and all the nips and pulls. Good makeup fixes all of that, I think, but I am 44. I haven't gotten to that place yet. We'll see. All right, so we're gonna take an angle brush and I just structure the front corner here. So I'm gonna draw a structured line right here and I'm gonna follow this all the way up and over my brow. And then right here where my brow stops, I'm gonna keep it going. I'm just gonna draw it straight out and I go far, like mid-temple, okay? Then we're gonna go about a quarter of the way in and I'm gonna follow my arch that's very thin because I overplucked and I wanna just pencil thin brows. And then we're gonna follow that down and over. And we're gonna hit that tail that we extended and just having it in this little palette, just, okay? On my brows, I use two colors. I use Trust and I use Oak. Oak can look like Trust if you get the brush wet. Just for simplicity, I keep them in here together and I keep a little tile in case I need to clean the brush. Okay, and then I'm gonna take a little bit more of that Trust color. We're gonna go right at the front here. We're gonna flick up. And I come about 1 millimeter or more in from my inner corner, which I guess is against the rules, but I am of an age and I think it makes my eyes look better. And I'm just gonna keep flicking and blending that bottom line upward into the brow. Flick, 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 flick. And just giving those hair strokes. If you want really defined hair strokes, get the brush wet. But getting a good angle brush, Sephora has one. BK Beauty has one. It's just so dang small. It's just too small for me. It's too small. And then we go into Oak, and that's where I can fill in on my tail here. And I just blend it in, and I'm gonna take this brush. If you have wild hairs, my husband calls them wizard hairs, get a brow wax, get a brow gel, and you can comb these in place. I don't, so I just comb it upward, and then I follow the growth of my brow, and this picks up the excess and puts things in order. So it takes me from being just like a decent brow, nobody had a problem with my brow probably, to just a little bit better. And then you can just take that spoolie and just tweak things if you need to, like that. I prefer a structured brow. It changes the shape of your eye, makes it look a little younger. Instead of being 44, maybe I'm 36. Okay, so we're gonna go to that bottom corner. We're gonna draw that hard line. If you are unsure of the shape of your brows, go and get those stencils off of Amazon. I think they're $5 or $6. And use those and find a brow you like and do that. Do that and find the brow you like and stencil them in with eyeshadow. I prefer the eyeshadow over the contours. Some people like the contours. I just think these last a little bit longer with the eyeshadow and it looks a little bit softer. And so again, just flicking upward, following that over. I don't know if structured brows are out. They are sisters, not twins. So just give yourself some grace. Give me some too. Then we're going up, up and over. Okay. Brows. Wow. Oh, my foot's asleep. Okay, the lips. I put contour on because I don't believe in outer lining lips. You can see the difference in your face skin and your lip skin. So when you outer line, it just, I think, I'm not gonna yuck a yum. If you like it, do it. I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong, but everybody can see you're not on your lip anymore. The Cupid's bow for some people is pretty prominent. If I outer line, I just think it looks messy. I just think it can look messy. So having a good liner, you want a good lip liner because they are dense. I prefer, there's MAC had this half red color I love. They discontinued it. So I use a Saint color, fits in your palette. This is Renaissance and it's super dense. They call it a satin, but that puppy is dense. There's no sheen. Like this is a satin. There's no sheen. So what it's gonna do is if you have straw lines, whatever lines, age lines, whatever lines, you want a barrier so it doesn't bleed in. My grandma would wear lipstick that was about this color and it would bleed in to her smoker lines because she had her Winstons and her Newports and then a Certs, but it always was bleeding in. And so having a good lip liner. So this is the Endpoint brush. This is gold, not my favorite. I don't like the gold. It does eventually start flaking off and it really just trips my trigger. You could see it on this brush. This is, see that? Aside from the hair. But you see how it's flaking off. Some people say they've seen it in their makeup. I have not noticed that, but it does chip off. Nobody likes that. So get rose gold or silver. Okay, we're gonna take the end. It's perfectly round. It's the best shape. And I'm just gonna swirl this into Renaissance. Renaissance goes with everything. Everything. On its own. So we're gonna put that Renaissance on and we're gonna line our lips to the edge on the top. And so we're just gonna follow that line to the top. I don't do lip fillers. I just can't alter my lips permanently. I heard it hurts. And if you don't like it, you gotta dissolve it, which also hurts. It's like my tattoo. I don't like it anymore and it hurts and I'm not gonna remove it because it hurts. So now I just got this disgusting, not disgusting, it's just, it looks terrible. But we're just going to keep adding to this. We're going to line our lips. And we're going to go up, up, living on the edge, okay? Living on the edge. And you just line your lips. I'm going to show you my lip trick on my bottom lip, especially for maturing people. Okay. So we're going up and over. Up the Cupid's bow, down the edge. Okay? Follow your natural lip of your upper lip. Color in the outer corners a little bit. It's a dark color, but doing this already makes your lips look a little fuller. Liner will make them look fuller. Okay? So line them out. Okay, everybody get a mirror. And you're gonna look at your lower lip on the outer corner here. And we are gonna see two things. You got your lip line right here. Do you see how it lightens up and there's an inner lip line? We're gonna line the inner lip line and then it's gonna come to the lip and then we follow it, okay? And this is gonna give your lip lift. So we're gonna take this lip liner and we're gonna go to that inner and then hit the lip and go in. Inner, color it in, inner. If you follow this natural outer line right here, you're gonna have the sad fish. You ever go to the aquarium and you see that sad fish at the bottom corner of the tank that's like, you don't wanna do that, okay? So we're gonna go to that inner line. Hit the lip, like that, okay? Color right in, inner lip line. You see how my lip goes? That's what we're doing, okay? We're adding that in it. Nobody's gonna know. Instead of outer lining it and having his lips, get that snatched clean lip that goes up and meets the upper lip, okay? It's like going and kissing your husband, okay? You want that upper lip line. And then you can go in and you can fill it in, okay? Until your daughter pointed it out to you. It's a magical thing. It's a magical thing. Okay, now we can go in with whatever you want to do. You can go in and you can add a neutral lip, a pink lip, whatever, a purple lip, but line your lips with something good and dense. And I love Renaissance. It is my favorite, favorite, favorite. If you want something a little more creamy, there's a color Fig that is a little more soft, but it's not going to be dense. Okay, I'm just going to add this. This is Saint's Sparkly Magical Lipstick. Look at how pretty that is. Let's see if it focuses on it. But it's that shimmery lipstick. Tom Ford has one, but this one's more affordable. I think Tom Ford is almost 50. This one's 25. And so you just go in and you're gonna fill it in like this. Okay. If you ever notice your lipstick is cakey, I'm gonna add actually a color to make my lips look cakey. We're gonna grab Daylily and I'm gonna put that on. And if your lips ever look cakey on the inside, take a bald finger and buff it on that inner lip line. Push it outward and it will help reduce the texture. Rub them together. But it could be the color. Daylily's one that can look really cakey. But buff it in, go into that lip line, and it will help. And just basically what you really want to do, I hate doing my lips on camera. It just drives me absolutely nuts. But you want to kind of take off this inner back area, take it off, okay? It's just gonna touch the upper lip and double. And so just try to take it off, but buff it out with your finger, okay? You still have the lip color here, but when your lips touch, you're not seeing that inner lip line. So when you close, you're doubling it. It's like creases, putting too much product on. And so when you smile and you crease, it doubles the product. That's what the creasing is. It's just excess product gathering into the valley. And so when you're doing that with your lips, it's just gathering together, okay? And so just buff it out, okay? That's how I do it. Okay, I like this on its own with Renaissance, but I forgot I was showing the buffing lip thing. So just take this, it goes good on its own. It goes good with a lip liner. It goes, you want this, you want this, you want this. Okay, that's just my personal preference. Okay, you guys, I did my makeup. Anybody who lasted this whole time with me, I love you. But look, it doesn't look that bad. It looked a little nutty at the beginning. But I think this actually came out really nice. I'm actually pretty impressed. I'm a little nervous about the lower lash line with my fine lines, grabbing it and pulling it, but it did come together. So this works. I don't think when you see people taking eyeliner and smudging it on their lid and then moving it out and smoking it out, I think that will crease down the line, but get a good primer. Get a good eyeshadow primer, okay? This is the one I recommend. There is a link in the description for it, but do eyeshadow. Don't do the eyeliner buffing. I did a little bit just to clean things up, but really pretty putting these together. This, I like it. This is Monday makeup. Honestly, I thought this was gonna be trash, but I've been, ever since I watched this video, and I'm not gonna lie, it was Cassie. I've been in on the Diddy trial stuff, okay? But then a Cassie tutorial from 7 years ago about her smoky eye popped up. The video one breaks my heart, but her makeup is, I have an appreciation for beautiful makeup. But I watched it and I said, okay, I want to try this. And I kept looking at it, and she has natural warmth on her lids because she is a woman of color. But so I was like, well, I can add that. And so that's where I just added this, but it's so, oh, I got to go take a picture of this. I got to go put this in my Facebook group because everybody needs this. I've never packed on, my hand just, okay. But I think this turned out a lot better than I expected. And the darkness, I feel like with the warmth, pulls out a little bit of the warmth in my brown, my dark brown eyes. And that never happens. That rarely ever happens, is when my eyes pop. I wish I was born with like piercing blue eyes. I have a friend, she has these aqua blue. Oh, they're stunning. They're so pretty. Okay. Oh, I've been waiting for her to speak her piece, but it's absolutely heartbreaking. This tutorial in specific is kind of heartbreaking. It's not talking about what she was going through, but it was when she was going through it, and it's a rough video. I watched it, and I watched it without sound because I don't watch videos with sound when I'm watching makeup tutorials. I'm watching method, not words. And I was watching it, and then I turned the sound on, and I was like, oh, broken. But I had been thinking about the makeup is absolutely beautiful. Anyways, I don't know if I'll get a lot of requests for this look, but I will do its own tutorial. I will have a specific, gotta write it on my Post-it. This is why I like doing the lives. Okay, smoky eye. I won't call it the Cassie smoky eye though, because although my Beth Dutton video is still thriving after, I think it's been 3.5, 4 years, and to this day, I have still yet to watch a Yellowstone episode. But my Beth Dutton eyeshadow has, I think, some insane amount of views right now. But still haven't watched Yellowstone. Still. But this turned out better than I thought. Okay, you have blue eyes. I bet this would look so pretty with blue eyes. I mean, it's makeup, not magic, but this turned out pretty stinking good. Okay, I'm going to talk about the setting sandwich this week too. I'm going to write this down, setting sandwich, because I think it's really important for heat. Just sandwiching powder between sprays, because that does really help with the texture. I will do the smoky eye. I know my Mondays are so long. I don't know if I've ever hit over 100 minutes, but I did today, and I feel like we've had a lot of people stay, so I hope it was engaging. I'm sorry I cried at the beginning. But you guys, seriously, I don't know. I feel so silly when I say these things, but I don't think any of you guys realize my Mondays live pull me from the dark. Makeup pulls me out of the dark. That's why I love makeup. Was in depression, was in the thickest and stuff, and I would just get up and get myself ready and put my makeup on, and it helped. And then I started doing this because I was a stay-at-home mom. It was COVID. It was great. And then I decided I'm going to dive into YouTube. Scary place. Didn't want to do it. And then I started doing YouTube. Then I started doing a live. And then last, I think, is when I started doing regular Monday lives. And you guys, like, the fact that everybody shows up and is here and is engaging and is kind. I mean, we get in the weeds, but just pull some weeds out and it's fine. I've gotten used to it. But I love doing my Monday lives. Like, you really, like, got the thick of it with my family. My uncle's going, my grandma's got stuff. Like, you guys help me so much. Okay. Your eyelashes are huge. Okay. I don't know how to help on that. But I do love coming here and doing these lives. You guys are, I look forward to them every day. And I know, like, if things are going rough, I got Monday coming and Monday's going to happen. So yes. Okay. When you feel and look better, you're able, yes, to pull yourself. Yes. Bootstraps. Yes. I call them big girl panties, but yeah, this helps. This live turned out so, I really didn't want this one to tank. I wanted this one to look as good as it does. And I feel, I'm going to feel really good when I walk out of my house. So that is it. That's my Monday live. I will be back next Monday. I am going to hybrid next Monday with Beauty Society's Perfect 10, because while I talk about creams, having a hydrating foundation is what you're looking for. This one is so good. So we're going to do that next week. And that's it. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for being positive and being just awesome. Just bomb.com. And that's it. But have a great day.